Theresa May is facing fresh pressure to sack Boris Johnson after the former head of the Foreign Office said he was not a serious heavyweight figure on the global stage. Lord Ricketts, the UK's head of the diplomatic service between 2006 and 2010, hit out amid a growing backlash at Johnson's blunder over a British national being held in a jail in Iran. The Foreign Secretary was forced to apologise after telling MPs last week that Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe had been training journalists in the country rather than being on holiday with her 22-month-old daughter Gabriella. Iranian state TV last night seized on his gaffe, claiming his unintended confession was proof that Zaghari-Ratcliffe had been spreading propaganda against the Tehran regime. Are you unsackable at Boris Johnson? Quizzed by Sky News after Iran TV says he has voided efforts to free Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe. Picked out Twitter.com UHUG3. Sky News at Sky News November 9, 2017. Confronted in Washington on Thursday about the Iranian TV report, Johnson replied, "Only we have some difficult consular cases in Iran and we are working on all of them." Asked if he was unsackable, he ducked the question. Johnson appeared on Fox News in the U.S. to instead heap praise on U.S. President Donald Trump, claiming he was one of the huge great global brands. But Lord Ricketts, who was also the UK's former national security advisor under David Cameron, became the latest high-profile former diplomat to warn that Johnson was not fit for the job he holds. "I don't think it's for me to decide who's foreign secretary, but the foreign policy of country needs a foreign secretary who projects authority and commands respect," he told BBC News Channel. Chris J. Ratcliffe via Getty Images. A vigil for Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe. It just shows that the precise words you use as foreign secretary are really important. Boris Johnson clearly made a mistake, but the Iranians have exploited that in a very cynical way. It's not the first gaffe. Right at the moment, Boris Johnson, for all his talents, has not succeeded in convincing people he's a serious heavyweight foreign secretary with real authority. That's a real problem. Ricketts added that he had never in all his long diplomatic career been more concerned about the image of Britain abroad. PAYRPA Images. Boris Johnson giving evidence to the Foreign Affairs Committee last week. If you look back at the last few weeks, if you're in a European capital or further away, it looks chaotic, confused and drifting at a time when there are massive issues of Brexit. Everyone that I meet abroad is, "Where are you Brits? We thought you were a stable country with a good pragmatic sense of your own national interest. What's happened to you? I think that's quite serious." The former Mandarin's words are the strongest attack yet on Johnson's record and follow hints of criticism of Johnson by another former Foreign Office chief earlier this week. Sir Simon Fraser, the permanent secretary at the FCO from 2010 to 2015, used a speech to declare that under Johnson's leadership UK influence had waned because of the vitriol over Brexit and fault lines in our society and animosity towards foreigners. "Our political establishment commands little respect abroad, and the negative economic consequences of Brexit are beginning to show." PAYRPA Images. U.S. President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Johnson showered praise on Trump in an interview with Fox News. "I think you've got to realize that the American president is one of the huge great global brands," he said. "He is penetrating corners of the global consciousness that I think few other presidents have ever done." His method: tweeting early in the morning. No matter how rambunctious those tweets may be, they are communicating with people. Yes, a lot of people don't like it, but a lot of people relate to it. In an age where people have been turned off politics, it's more direct and communicative than most presidents have managed. Suggest a correction.